Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Chassidus in the morning. In 15 minutes to change our lives. Kuntres. We're going to start by giving tzedakah. Gedol tzedakah from Makaros Zagulo. Mitzvah Hashem. Shia should come right now. Continue to share in the Beis Hamikdash. And this whole series is for all the Yidden Eretz Yisroel and all the soldiers and all the unfortunate hostages. That should be good and safe and healthy. And we're going to focus on Karin Bas Osnas Isa. The Mitzvah Hashem, she should be good and healthy and safe. Okay, so we're a little bit in the middle. A little bit, it's been a while, but let's continue. Basically, we're talking about how connecting to Hashem and how now we're going to discuss the mistaken thought that we don't need to connect to Hashem and we can receive plenty. So what comes out? This, that a person blesses themselves in their heart, saying it will be good for them with peace. Meaning, they will go according to the heart's desire. Meaning, we're gonna eat junk food and still be healthy. Meaning that we will receive from the chitzenius of makif, the external part of makif. I like the clip of Sitracha. We look at the clip of Sitracha. You know, I saw this article talking about in I think it's Surfside in Florida, that the new mayor was saying things, and I don't know if they're taking it out of context a little bit, but basically he was saying how he wants more shops to be open on the weekend. Basically, so they're saying, I don't know the inside politics over there, but they're saying they want more shops open on Shabbos, and there's too many Jewish stores. The person will say to himself, I should open up on Shabbos, and I'll make more money. I'll make plenty of money. That they raise themselves up to receive from there. Just like I worship below. Now I'm going to live a life over them. I see they're very successful. Doing it that way, it gives you plenty. Why have to go? Like I talked about before, about the whole story about the guy saying, in order to be successful in business, you got to be not yashar, not emes, not straight, not truthful. So I want to be successful. I got to be like them. So shenimshach ribi hashpa misham b'li cheshbon. And I see they make plenty. They're doing good. So to a person will think to themselves, I should be like them. And this is a very tough sort of challenge that we have. That we look at other people, we look at their lives, and we see parts of it, and we see things that they're successful at, and we want to get that as well. And we don't know why it comes. Ultimately, we don't really know how everything works and how Hashem's cheshbonis are. But we look at them, look at someone, and say, I should be like him. I was more like someone told me years ago. Basically, the way they used to see it, I don't know if it's changed, or maybe my perception of it has changed. But basically, there's a perception in Crown Heights that you're either nebach and you're frum, Siddish, but you don't have much, or you're more modern and you have a lot of gashmis. So basically, you got to choose which one you want to be. You want to be the person with nothing, but frum, and you have to choose either be frum and nothing, or be more modern and have more. So that's what this is. This Yitzhak that's going on in people's heads. And this is complete falsehood. This is just a foolishness. We fool ourselves. And he says it in Yiddish to like really bring it in. But that's like in English. Like nowadays, it's like writing a mimer or this and then putting it in English just to make sure you really get it. And Naret zich allein up was rechnet as wird euch mekaber sein die hashpa from chitzenius hamakif. That he fools himself thinking that he's able to receive the hashpa from chitzenius. That I'm going to live a lot like the story we talked about the kid and the parents, which brings out the point, but in a different way. But the idea is, like the kid saying, I don't want my parents. I'll just take the credit cards. because you can't receive this makif type of relationship. The Seder Shtalshus, but has to come from the Seder Shtalshus that we talked about before. We have a real relationship with Hashem. And therefore, the way it comes out to us has to be in this real internal way. Like the kid saying to his parents that I have a real relationship with you. Sorry about that. And then it's us from the pnimis of makif. So we get it from that inner place of makif, that the real inner desire that Hashem has for the world and for us and things like this. And that's how we get things. And there, because Hashem really cares, then it comes in an organized, orderly, and it makes a difference, everything that you do. So therefore, automatically, if you're not doing the right thing, it's not going to work. And again, like we said before, in a real relationship with the parents, it matters what you do. And thinking that you're like that I can do it if I want and it'll be good, it doesn't work. It just doesn't make any sense, really. But we fool ourselves into thinking that way that it does. We see clearly we see successful people people that are not doing the right thing, but they're very successful, like we talked about before. But after, but it loses. It doesn't last forever. Everything according to the calculation. Meaning, and sometimes we can see these things, but we're blind to it because we don't want to see the reality. Sometimes we can't see. We don't know what's going on in everyone's mind and everyone's heart and everyone's home. But the general idea is people that try to go this roundabout way, he says it doesn't last. And the reason why they are successful in the beginning is who leveis time and for two reasons. First reason is shezehu al yedei asiyah tova me'osam she'adam yochel b'seim b'lamazeh. I can't get on Abba because they have good things, like the story with what's his name, Pinyakov. That someone said to him. We talked about this. Someone said to him, "Why is this guy? I doing all the right things, and I'm not so successful." And I see this guy doesn't do everything. He doesn't look so, he doesn't have a beard properly. He shaves his beard and he doesn't do all these things. And I see he's doing much better than me. How does that work? So Pinya said, you don't know what his chusim are. You don't know what his merits are, what good he's done to be deserving of it. And this is what we're saying here. So the person, why does he look like so successful, even though he doesn't look like he's doing the right thing? It's because you don't know what good he's done. He or she have done. They could be done plenty of good things. You never, the honest truth, you don't know anything about anyone's life. And just because they look a certain way, they dress a certain way, it doesn't mean anything at all. Yeah, that's the first reason why this is successful. The we explain above, as long as they still have some portion of good, they receive from that kedusha that you have, just like the banquet. There's some leftovers, and that's what they're receiving. And because they're connected to the kedusha, so they get the first. And therefore, they get a lot of gashmis. But afterwards, but then it doesn't last forever. Become poor and they get all these afflictions, all these issues. But he says many rich people don't have good character traits. Or they have bad ones, not just not good ones, they also have negative ones. But with a lot of self-love, the gas of ruach, and very haughty, very egotistical. And as long as they have their richness, rabim ashrim. It says many enjoy their richness, meaning their lives aren't that good, and the people that care, they don't have many people that care about them. Simon Jacobson said, speaking to a guy that's very wealthy, and I don't know exactly the whole story, how it all came out, but he was like, you don't look so happy. So he's like, yeah, I don't really have any friends. And I'm always questioning if someone's becoming friend with me, is it because of me or my money? So imagine that, having no real friends. You feel no one's your friend. And even though a lot of them realize that they're getting all this honor and all this respect, not because of themselves, not because of their money. But when the but they're deceived about their own character, and they draw strength from their treachery. Meaning, it's hard, it's like a person has a test and they cheat on the test, but they get a good score. They don't tell themselves, "Ah, really, it's not such a good score. I cheated." They think, "Oh, look at that, I got a good score." They blind themselves. And so too in this case, people have a lot of money, and people are being friendly with them, and they're not really because of them, because of, because again, we're using examples of people that are not very good people, not upright standing people, and they have friends. So those friends are being friends because of their money. And if they were honest with themselves, they'd realize that. They'd be honest and say, yeah, not because of me. I'm not such a nice person, but my money is what's causing it. It's they lose themselves into thinking that it's all about them. When they lose their money and they become poor, then they realize, one second, I'm not such a good person, and I'm a regular guy with my regular issues, like everyone else. Not so great. And it's like I remember once those whatever a Jewish, actually Lubavitch, a philanthropist, had he was very successful for a time, and he lived in Australia, and people would come, travel from Eretz Yisroel, and he would give tons of money. And then when he lost the money, not many people came to him. I'm not saying Chas V'Shalom was a bad guy. He was a very good guy. I don't know him. Like, I don't know exactly how good he was. But I'm saying V'cheshes Kashrus, he's good. But the point was, were they being friendly with him because of his money? And from what I understood, it was a little bit hard, the fact that seeing that people didn't care about him. And Baruch Hashem, there was a few nice people that even when he didn't have money, they still came and spoke to him and didn't ask him for money, but they showed a good relationship. But the point is, he's saying when a person is not a good upright person, but have some zchuyos, some merits that gets them going, so they can keep on living this lifestyle. But the honest truth is not that good, and the only respect that they're getting is not because of them, but because of their money. But once they lose their money and people stop being friendly with them, then they start to realize and they're honest with themselves. I'm not such a not such a great guy. I have plenty to work on, and this is the one of the points of Chassidus talks about this in Hayom Yom Chav Dal Tevis, that the Tzemach Tzedek asked. I think he asked the Middle Rebbe. He said, "What did Zaidi intend with the limud of Chassidus and the dark Chassidus, the ways of Chassidus and the learning of Chassidus?" Such a powerful word. And he said, the ways of Chassidus is that Chassidim should be one family. We should feel connected, like in a true sense, which is a whole thing in itself, that we should work on having that sense for ourselves, amongst ourselves, just our friends at least. Start off with our friends before we talk the whole Chabad. Just our friends have that real family feel. And the second thing was, in the limud of Chassidus, was we should be able to recognize the problems for what they are and work on fixing them. Chassidus, one of the things Chassidus brought us is to be able to be honest with ourselves and recognize that we have faults. Faults are part of life. Tanya is very nice about making us realize, yeah, we all have problems. And that's what, and Chassidus, and this is very important. So it's not like this rich person, they have all the problems, but I'm good. It just, because of the wealth and the way he's being treated so nicely because of the wealth, so it's hard for them to see the issues. But once they lose that wealth and see how, and then they get a chance to see themselves again, they realize, I got problems. Finish it up. And being that ashpa. And what we get is coming from the pnimius, and it comes with a din cheshbon, and it's calculated If not, he's one of the people. They're one of the people that it says on them in the Varim, Umeshalem l'seinav al panav that he pays to his enemy in order to get him lost, to destroy him. He has no merits, God forbid. And if he has a merit, and just being a yid is already enough of a merit, it's not shaykh that he's going to receive without a cheshbon, without it being calculated. You know, it's like a reminder quickly. I remember my father told me when he was young, he was brought up in a kibbutz. He went to the army, and basically someone was sleeping on guard duty at night, and so they managed to somehow blame it on him. And he said he got in trouble, and what they told him, the sergeant or whatever, commanding officer, he said to him, he goes, a kibbutznik? From you, I didn't expect such a thing. Like, I have better expectations from you. Yeah, a kibbutznik, you're made from different stuff. And this is sort of what we're saying. By Yid, we're made from different stuff. It doesn't work this way. We everything's din v'cheshbon. Ki'im hakol hu b'cheshbon dafka. Mitzay b'chinas pnimius. Because we have this inner, deeper relationship with Hashem. So it can't be superficial. You can't have a superficial relationship with the spouse. It's not a marriage. Your relationship with the spouse is deep. It's internal. And you can't say, I'll be very superficial. We'll act married. We'll do it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And that's where our source is coming from Hashem. So by Hashem, everything is within the cheshbon, and it should be that way. To just finish off with the kitzer. Tefillah, davening, mekasheres haneshama l'kus, connects haneshama to godliness. Ukashah is galus, hikum epnimius, haneh lemes uemes. And when the revelation is the same way it is with pnimius, what's our inside is like our outside. This is true. That's emes. We're not two-faced. Oba betzakas hakel gadol u'me'eres es ha'atzmus, and it comes from this inner voice that comes out, which is arousing our essence. Yisrael makabim rak min pnimius. We only receive from the pnimius. The gam eile shedarkam salecha, and even those that, and also those that are successful, that they're not doing it by pnimius. Shalei al pi teira, and it's not going according to teira, and they still receive, they're still living a good life. It seems the reason is atam alav schar. It's for reward for something good that they've done. And beis shefa miklipa, they're receiving from klipa. But it doesn't last forever. So, Mr. Hashem, by all of us, we should get from not from Klippa, we should get from Kedusha, and recognize the real relationship with Hashem and how much He cares. And our davening should be with the Chayas. We should have an amazing day. Thank you for joining.